Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Diaphone, and yeah, this is going to be a little bit different than my normal video. For the main reason, I kind of have a life update, channel update to share with you guys. I am now a full-time gamer officially as of this recording, which is honestly kind of scary. And there's a few reasons why I went this route. There's a few reasons why I quit. Honestly, my pretty nice and cushy job as health and safety manager. I made quite good money. I had a decent work-life balance, and I actually liked the job. I like the people I work with, room for opportunities for advancement, et cetera, et cetera. I left all that behind. I want to talk about why, because I know that's not a decision a lot of people make, right? And I guess the first reason, at least the conclusion I came up with after one Street Fighter 6 2023 Evo, as I was doing content, competing, working full time, got 25th. I really gave it my all for that tournament, and I did really well. I beat a number of sponsored players, and I realized at that tournament that I cannot do content, compete, and have a full-time job. I realized that tournament is impossible. I gave it my all. I realized maybe someone else could do it. I cannot, right? And so I kind of drifted away from competing for a couple years. I'm sure you guys have noticed this. There's been less tournament runs on the channel, or at least less tournament runs that I've won on the channel, right? Obviously, I keep up my skills. I'm still, 1% player in pretty much any game I play. But it's impossible to be that like 0.01 or the best player when you're juggling all these balls, right? And after this last round at EWC, how do I say, the SNK World Tour for the EWC, where, I also beat a number of really strong sponsored players. I also gave him my all, but I also just came up just a little bit short of qualifying for that $1 million tournament. And I felt the same exact regret I felt back in 2023, the last time I gave him my all, which is it's impossible to do content, compete, and work a full-time job. And, what would happen was I used up like all my vacation time to travel and train for this tournament. But, you only get so many hours, like so many days of vacation. So as I was traveling for these tournaments, it would be like I would get home and then I'd have to like go into the office this next day, like jet lag this shit. Everyone else is training. I should be prepping. I should be reviewing my VODs, but I don't have the time because I got to catch up on work. And then I go to the next tournament and, everyone's already one step ahead of me because I was too busy working my job, and everyone that competes is basically doing like this full time. Yeah, it felt really hard. Oh, and you have to do content shit on the side. So it felt hard. And I realized that I need to cut one of these silos down. And the last couple of years, I cut down the competing side. And while I'm glad, obviously, the YouTube channel's grown, my stream has grown, et cetera, I really want to give it my all in just content and competing. And that's part of the reason I left. And honestly, like, I'm really happy that I made this decision. I really did give the content and work side of things a legitimate try. And I guess the one thing, like, maybe if you're trying to be a full-time gamer, or you're trying to pursue something like a side hustle, that the way I did it, where I hedge my bets, I have a lot of money saved up, and obviously I make decent income from this that I can go full-time just now without like the potential of growth and, investing my time and the potential to make more money. Is that, I'm really happy that I hedged my bets, and I hope if you're thinking about doing something similar, you hedge it too. Wait till you find some success. Wait till you, don't be afraid to work really hard and work like 2 jobs, because I think it does pay off. At least for me, it did, right? And I'm actually still doing consulting on the side for my health and safety career. So like I still got that income stream. I'm not doing that much, right? Obviously, it's a lot scaled down to what I was doing before. Not to mention, diversifying my income between like YouTube, Twitch. I have a sponsor now, Weibo Gaming. Shouts to them. They've been super helpful, and also making me this transition. I do coaching and other sponsorships and etc. I think not just relying on tournament winnings makes me feel a lot more comfortable going this route, if that makes sense. Obviously, I want to win tournaments. That's my real main goal. I want to, we have SWC coming up in 3 months, and I think while I am a little bit behind the curve because this last month I've basically been working my ass off to catch up and do transition and that sort of thing for my health and safety career, I still think I'm talented enough and I work hard enough that I can catch up, right? So that's the thing. Obviously, we got 2XKO coming out too. I suspect there's going to be a pro tour. Wouldn't surprise me if that's the EWC next year. And I did make a promise to myself when I started streaming that if I wasn't full time by the time 2XKO or Project L back in the time, that I would just quit fighting games. I would literally quit fighting games. I quit streaming. Maybe not quit fighting games, but like quit the competitive and content aspect of things. And so I'm making true to my word. I'm going in, and I'm giving myself a 1 year runway. You know, I want to do this in a responsible way. I am getting up there in age. You know, eventually I want to have kids and that sort of thing. You know, I don't want to like drag this out where if I don't see it being successful, you know, I'm also giving up career opportunities to do this as well. So I'm giving myself 1 year. More realistically, like maybe a year and a half. Basically till the next SWC, or I don't know what the 2XKO Pro Tour looks like, right? But if I don't find success then and I don't have income streams then, all right, I guess we'll just cancel it. But really, I'm giving myself basically 1 year to lock in. And if not, then hey, it's I guess no more content. We're definitely scaling this back. We're getting a job and we're locking back in. But really, the reason I need to give myself a deadline is because I think the content or gaming sphere, if you're not growing, you're kind of stagnating and eventually you'll fall off, right? This is a young man's game. This isn't like, yes, of course we have like Sako who's like 47, Daigo who's 43, and you know, all these other players who even them, we don't know what their future is going to look like in 10, 20 years. Are they going to be able to retire on their money? I have a lot of thoughts on this. This is kind of getting out of the point of the video, but the goal is like, I need to give myself a short runway, because if not, I'm just going to get complacent. And really, now's the time for me to kind of lock the fuck in. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to lock the fuck in. Especially, I feel like I'm going to have all this extra time. But really, so what am I going to be doing with this extra time? It's mainly focused on competing, mainly on training. I'm going to be streaming, obviously, more because I'll have to play the game more in order to train up. So actually, the goal is to do a stream Monday through Friday. Starting at 1 p.m. EST. I don't know how that's going to work out, because like the goal is like I want to work out beforehand, but I also want to like compete at tournaments, but the tournaments are later. But I want to have a non-degen schedule because that's what I'm used to. I'm used to that 9 to 5 life. So like I want to have some regularity in that. I don't know. We're going to try it out for a few months. I'll try it until SWC, so basically early November. And I also do a monthly update on the highlights channel, let you guys know how this whole boomer goes full-time gamer transition's going. But yeah, really, it's just focused on competing. Well, obviously, I'm going to work on making content better. I still love making new ideas for YouTube. I got a lot of ideas that, I have like literally a list of like 200 ideas. I just haven't had the time to execute on. Most of them are trash, but there's some gems in there. And so more YouTube content, but really the focus is on competing and streaming. So you guys will see some of that, but hope you guys can check me out. Also, I'll be posting a lot more on YouTube because I'll be streaming a lot, mostly on the highlights channel. So link down below. I do have a highlights channel. We've been posting actually some crazy bangers over there. So check that out too. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm a full-time gamer. I think this is the first unscripted, uncut video I've done on my channel as well, which is kind of crazy. I think Diaphone, one of the cool things about doing this, and one of the reasons I got into streaming was actually to improve my public speaking at my career. I have to give like a lot of presentations. I have to lead meetings. I have to present at meetings. I have to present to higher ups. And my speaking, my ability to speak out loud and to clarify my thoughts was actually pretty poor probably like 5 years ago, and streaming and stuff has helped me with that. It's kind of crazy how it's come around full circle. Now I can do a video without pausing for 5 minutes to collect my thoughts, which is really cool. Anyways, wish me the best of luck. You guys know I'm gonna be locking the fuck in. I appreciate you guys. Really, I couldn't have done half of this shit without your support on YouTube, and I'll catch you all around. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.